Welcome to our Lunch and Learn, and thank you for taking time out of your day to join us. Today, we're going to talk about employee wellness programs and how they can affect your organization. We have a couple presenters. We have Jedd from Peak Strength and Fitness. We have David from MotionConnect. And then we also have Brandi Franklin and Sarah Sivers from Gannon Associates. We will go ahead and get started. If you haven't already done so, go ahead and mute yourself. And I just ask that you remain muted for the presentation. If you have any questions, we will have a moment for question and answers at the end. And if you need to, please feel free to put them in the chat box. Without any further ado, I'll hand you off to Jedd.
So I'm Jedd Johnson. I'm from Peak Strength and Fitness here in Wyalusing, and I've been the wellness trainer with Gannon Associates for really just this year. I started in January. And an interesting story, while it may sound pretty straightforward that a company would have a wellness program, when I worked in industry prior to 2010 at a local company, we really didn't focus on wellness too much at all. In fact, the thing that we focused on much more often was employee engagement. And what that amounts to is creating an environment within the work site where the employees are excited about their work, they speak well about the company, and they talk about it with their friends, their family, their neighbors, their community, and really it helps the company in that way as kind of a recognition in that way. But I don't remember at all ever talking about wellness. And I know Mark Gannon from Gannon Associates really well, and he was talking about the wellness program, and I really didn't know much about that. I was kind of clueless, to be honest with you. So over time, I've realized that wellness and having a wellness program can really have a huge impact on the company. So a lot of what exactly is wellness? There's a lot that goes into it. And depending on where you look, you'll see different definitions, but it can include emotional, spiritual, intellectual, physical, environmental, occupational, and social pieces. So the thing about that, looking at that makes a lot of sense, but we never addressed that at all at the company I used to work at. And I can see where that would be the case, just judging by things like absenteeism and injuries, accidents, illnesses, things like that. We just focus more on the work life kind of thing rather than everything else that really goes on with wellness. Some statistics that popped out at me right away, looking into this, it can cost a company up to $250,000 annually by not having a wellness program. I look back at that company where I used to look at, and I think that probably, if you would have looked it up in a dictionary somewhere, you would have seen that company where I used to work at. We just didn't address those kinds of things. And specifically, the physical activity aspect of it, just that alone can cost up to almost $45,000 a year for a company by not addressing these things. So that's kind of where I come in for Gannon Associates. They have this excellent software that really ties everything together. It's called MotionConnected. They have a scorecard. They're able to keep track of points that are earned towards the wellness program. And there's lots of resources there. There's lots of challenges that go on pretty much on a every 3 week, every 4 week basis. But I'm kind of the human aspect to all that. So what I do is I go into the company once a month. So I'm at the Athens branch on a Tuesday. It's actually next week that I go to the Gannon companies to meet with everyone. So I'm in the Athens branch one day and the Towanda branch another day. And we have one-on-one meetings with the people that are participating in the program. and they're real short meetings. We talk about, the meetings are specific to the people that are involved. So we go over their goals, we go over what they're working on, the troubles that they're having, and I just help them, stay excited, try to help them stay on task, stay with their goals. In fact, when I meet with everybody next week, we're going to be talking about 3 main goals that everyone has to reach by the end of the year. So to really cap the year off with as much success as possible, and just try to rein everything in, keep everyone focused. And some of the things that I've seen from some of these people have been very dramatic. Most of the people I never knew before going into this wellness program with Gannon. And one person in particular that I would like to highlight is actually Kaylee. When I met her, we talked about her goals, and ever since then, she has been right on top of everything. Uh, one of her goals was to just put together a regimen that she could follow on a day-to-day and weekly basis. And, she started that right away. She was able to continue that even through COVID, when everything was really knocked out of whack. All of our schedules were changed, having to work from home, stores not allowing people in at certain hours, not able to get what you need. You can't just go to the store anytime you want to. But instead, I saw Kaylee set up basically a procedure, a weekly regimen where she would shop for everything she needed. She would get it into the home. They would plan out their meals. She and her husband would go on walks together. They would cook together, meal prep together. It's been a huge success. So I definitely want to recognize you, Kaylee, for everything that you've done this year. It's pretty inspiring. Another major resource that we use at Gannon Associates is a journal, and Kaylee actually had a big hand in putting this together as well. And what this is a daily journal where you can set up your daily goals, also plan out your exercise goals, your eating goals, and then it has an actual. So you have your plan, what you want to accomplish that day, and also an actual section. So you can see, did I hit everything I wanted to? Did I fall short? Did I get the meals that I needed to? Maybe I had to skip something. Those kinds of things are pretty powerful. When you set out a plan and then you have it before you on a daily basis, it's huge. There's a water tracker on here, and basically this journal, and you may not be able to see it perfectly, but this journal I think is a tremendous resource for anyone who has a goal based around diet, based around exercise. And like I said before at the beginning, a lot of these conditions that come up. So high blood pressure, diabetes, high cholesterol, obesity, all of these things, many of these things are tied to diet, and all of them are completely preventable with the proper wellness strategy. And everyone that I meet with each month is doing a great job. They stay on task, and it's been my pleasure working with everybody. So I can only wish that I would have known more about this holistic approach to wellness years and years ago before I got involved with Gannon. That's pretty much it about the wellness program. Some of the stuff that I bring to the table, my strengths are strength and conditioning. That's been my career for about the last 10 years. And, I'm a certified strength and conditioning specialist since 2001, but I found that really the success that you get out of a wellness program is really dependent upon the patterns that you're able to set up on a daily basis and weekly basis in order to make that difference in your lifestyle. The PowerPoint that's up right now, it really shows the power of a good wellness program and all of these excellent habits and what they can have on your company. For instance, more productive employees. You know, they have just a better outlook on things. They're able to go after their goals at work and accomplish everything more completely. Less absenteeism. That was one of the main problems that we had at the company I used to work at, is the absenteeism, people not being at work, and then that weighs even more heavily on the rest of the people that are there. Fewer accidents, fewer injuries, and a more positive company culture. That is really the engagement stuff that I was talking about earlier. So if you don't have a wellness program, I think you're at risk for sacrificing a lot of these in a lot of these key areas, and it's the results in those areas are going to help you out big time with the wellness program.
Thank you so much, Jedd.
Sure.
So now we'll pass it along to David, who's going to talk a little bit more about the MotionConnected products.
Great. So I appreciate the opportunity, and we have been partnering with Gannon for a number of years, and I can tell you, just it's the first time I've heard Jedd talk, but I know his passion came across. One of the things that struck me was just Mark Gannon's passion for health and wellness and making it a part of what Gannon Associates are about, and that has really inspired me. So we work with, we're a national company. As an example, our largest client is Cleveland Clinic. So we work with their 60,000 employees and spouses. But I will tell you that as a company, we love working with the small and medium-sized companies. And I think what you're going to see and what I'm going to illustrate is we're actually focusing our products to tailor more to that part of that size of an employer than we are for the larger employers. A lot of the other national companies, to be quite honest, aren't necessarily particularly interested in smaller companies. We love that. It's our bread and butter, and so look forward to hopefully having conversations with folks moving forward. I would say kind of the way that we play into this is that there's sort of a high touch, high tech approach to wellness. And I think what you heard from Jedd is the high touch, is the one-on-one, the personal coaching, which really can have a big impact. What we're really trying to do with our platform is deliver a lot of the other information effectively from a high-tech perspective. So that really comes through our portal and our smartphone apps and some of the tools that we've developed along that way. So let me just dive in and give you a kind of an overview of our solutions, which is what you're seeing with the slide on the screen. And really what we focus on are three key things that we have heard over and over and over again with our partners and smaller clients that we're working with. And like I said, it's really where we're focusing our products moving and solutions moving forward. The first is automation. So we know as small employers, your time is very valuable. You may not have the resources that a larger company has. And also there's an affordability issue. So by making our products automated, it allows us to deliver them at a much more affordable price point. So that's one of the key principles that we focus on. A second, and Jedd touched upon this in terms of overall more broader employee engagement, is communication tools. 2020 has been a challenging year, shall we say, for a lot of employers. And one of the things that we've seen is, in order to maintain that really strong company culture, a lot of that's about communication. So how do I reach my employees when perhaps they're now not all in the same place, or they're working different shifts, or whatever the impact of COVID has been on your organization? And so what we want to do is provide communication tools through our app that kind of go alongside the well-being content that we provide. So our company messaging tool allows you to deliver messages directly to employees, where they are, right? So if somebody's got their phone, you can reach out to them. And this could be about the wellness program, but it also could be more broadly, again, what Jedd talked about, kind of more broader, engagement, whether it's about company issues or even community issues. And the other piece of that is that we see a high level of engagement in our wellness programs And again, what better way to message folks than somewhere where they're kind of hanging out with their colleagues, having a little bit of fun and a challenge. It's a great place to get that key message and key content out to them. So what we call our core plan is everything that you see up here in blue. And that starts out with Wellbeing Campaigns. So Jedd laid out, there's lots of different facets to health and well-being. And what we want to do is deliver very approachable content. So we want to make sure it's not, clinically and medically focused. It's very approachable, very common sense, down to earth information. Could be about stress, sleep, nutrition, high blood pressure, weight management, a lot of things that Jedd talked about. And what we're going to do is automatically push that out to employees. So this might be access to an article, access to a video. It might be asking them to take a reflective exercise. So just take a couple of minutes and think about things that you're grateful for, right? So just kind of slowing people down from a stress perspective. Or it could be tips or more. And again, this is all delivered through the communication tools on our app. So there's nothing as an employer that you necessarily need to be involved in. It automatically runs, and we're reaching out. And over the course of a year, to put it in perspective, there'll probably be, probably 8 kind of campaigns, again, touching on all those main facets of health and well-being. The second key facet of the core plan from a wellness perspective is challenges. And Jedd touched upon this as well. We focus a lot on physical activity. We've seen the benefits personally. We've seen the benefits our clients have had for that. So we will run physical activity challenges, again, think probably 6 over the course of a year. And everything, again, is going to be automated. So there's going to be invitations that will go out. Folks will know when it's happening. They'll know what it's about. There'll be a reminder when the challenge is starting. There'll be a reminder when the challenge is ending. There's a leaderboard they have access to. There's a chat function they have access to. So again, we're trying to get that camaraderie and social connection amongst colleagues. And physical activity challenges is a very safe way to do that. It's also kind of a fun way to do that. So we focus a lot on challenges as part of our core plan. And then the third piece is the company messaging that I already talked about. Again, we provide tools. This is an option. So the third sort of principle that we focus on is the idea of flexibility, right? So yes, we want to make things automated. Yes, we want to make communication easy, but we also understand there are employers, and Gannon Associates would be a great example, where you might want to put your own fingerprint on it. So there might be a certain initiative or a company event that you do that you want to integrate into the wellness program, and we can certainly do that. So our core plan, our most affordable plan, is going to be about pushing out an automated set of campaigns and challenges across the course of a year, complementing that with communication tools that you have directly. And then we layer on top of that 2 what we call power-ups. The first is, again, what Jedd talked about, is if you're at the point where you feel like you want to reward employees for healthy behaviors, which may be physical activity, so daily activity points, or it could be monitoring their weight on a monthly basis, or going to see their doctor on an annual basis. We've put together a best practice incentive tracking program that really focuses on the highest engaging and highest impact activities that you would want your employees to be involved in. And again, one of the keys is it's all automated. So there's nothing you need to do, nothing you need to manage. Everything that the employees need to participate is within the scorecard. And it's really then, they're accountable really for whether they want to take those actions to earn the points and then the associated rewards with it. And then the other power up that we have is more on the communication side. This is called Resource Center. And this is really the idea that there are maybe key pieces of information, maybe about, your benefits, medical or dental benefits or safety program, access to a telemedicine company, access to a 401, retirement. What we find is there's just key pieces of information that you'd like your employees to have very simple, easy access to. So we've built that into our app now. So we have a what we call, again, Resource Center, and we will build this client by client. So this will be custom to the particular needs of your employees and the information that you want to get into their hands. But again, if you think about it, everything's being delivered through the app. They're already there in wellness. They're participating. It's a great place for you to deliver, again, more about that company culture, company information, in one easy to access spot. So that's really kind of a very quick overview of what we're about. Certainly more devil in the detail, and happy to answer any questions that folks may have. But hopefully that gives you a sense. And again, we really like working with smaller employers and really want to deliver programs that are automated, effective, and they're going to be very easy for you to deploy, across your employee base. So I'll leave it there, but happy to answer any questions that may come up.
Thanks so much, David. So now we're going to pass it to Brandi Franklin, who's going to talk a little bit about where Gannon Associates fits into this and what we can do for you.
Good afternoon, everybody. I am Brandi Franklin, and I am the operations manager for our employee benefits division. I have the pleasure of working with both Jedd and David for our internal program as well as our external programs. And they are both just stellar individuals. So thank you both for taking the time today. So I get to work with both, I get to experience the wellness program from an employee standpoint, but I also get to see it from the employer standpoint. And from an employee standpoint, what we do here, it helps keep me on pace. It helps me remain accountable for what I need to do, for what my goals are personally. It drives my consistency. It's just like going into a weigh-in day at the gym. You know you're going to face it. You know it's going to happen. So just be prepared for it. And again, that's what motivates me, and that's what keeps me on pace. And I appreciate that Mark and the team have put that in place for us here. As far as an employer standpoint, it's so important to keep your employees healthy. It improves morale, and as Jedd said earlier, increases productivity. You have less absenteeism, and it gives them something to do as far as challenges go. If you have a competitive staff, and I am one of the competitive people here, it's fun. It's a fun thing to do, a few challenges a year, just who can beat whom in steps. It keeps everybody on pace again. But I think wellness, though, isn't all about activity. It's also about seeing your doctor annually. It's about seeing your dentist twice a year. That's what keeps people healthy. We want to avoid any illnesses that are on the horizon for people. So preventive services are the one thing I think that can help do and prevent damage moving forward. So that is a big piece of it. That is what we like to see. We like to see people just remaining physical when they can, but making sure that preventatively they're remaining healthy. That is going to save employer groups money. It's a cost when people become ill, so it's a cost savings. At the end of the year, when you're looking at your renewal, there will be eventually, you'll see some return on that with people doing what they need to do as far as that wellness piece goes. Here again at Associates, we have a suite of products that we offer. So with the team here, we do have a wellness program, obviously. We do group health, vision, dental, life, disability, all of those things. So you can always feel free to contact us with any questions. Sarah, did you have anything to offer, or did I cover the floor for you?
Well, as usual, Brandi, you did a great job.
Quick and easy. Thank you.
Well, thank you guys so much for joining us. I will go ahead and put the contact information on the screen. If you guys have any questions or would like to reach out and connect with any of our speakers later on, you can go ahead and email me at marketing@gannonassociates.com, or go ahead and call that phone number. That's my direct extension right there, 285. You will be receiving a follow-up email with a copy of the slides, some handouts, and a follow-up survey. So thank you guys so much for joining us, and I hope you guys have a great day.